The world you are living in is just a small layer, known as Bhulok. But according to the scriptures, this universe has 14 loks, 7 above and 7 below. The question is, who created these loks? Why were they created? Was there a plan, or did everything happen on its own? So let us go back to that moment when nothing existed. There was no earth, no sky, no time, no direction, only emptiness. And in that emptiness, there was one existence. It had no form, no color, no beginning, and no end. Then it thought, let me become many from one. And from that thought, creation was born. That thought itself became Brahma. Brahma, the creator of the universe, with 4 faces known as the 4 Vedas. The very first thing he created were the loks. Why? Because creation would be meaningless without life, action, and knowledge. As per the Purans, through the meditation and prayer, Brahma created the 5 elements: sky, air, fire, water, and earth. And from the union of these elements, he created the 14 loks. 7 above for spiritual upliftment, 7 below for indulgence, downfall, and hell. This is Bhulok, the very place where you are sitting, breathing, thinking, and living. But is this world really that simple? No. Behind it hides a deep secret, Bhulok. Bhulok, or earth, is the land of karma. It is a stage where every being plays their part. Some are kings, some are saints, some warriors, and some thieves. But all are bound in the same cycle of birth, action, death, and rebirth. What we see is not real, it is Maya, an illusion that keeps us tied. Every joy carries a hidden worry. Every victory carries fear. Every relationship carries attachments. The Vedas says Bhulok is like a staircase. You can climb up or fall down. Whatever you think and whatever you do decides your next step. Will you move to the higher loks or take births again in this very Bhulok? Every action here is a code. Beyond this is Bhuvarlok, a place where the body has been left behind, but the journey is not over. When your body takes its last breath here in Bhulok, the soul immediately moves ahead. But it does not reach heaven or hell first. It enters Bhuvarlok, the realm of thoughts and emotion. Nothing is hidden here. Whatever you have thought, whatever you have felt, forms your world around you. If the mind is pure, Bhuvarlok becomes like a beautiful dream. But if it is filled with attachment, fear, or regret, the same thought becomes a terrifying illusion, trapping the soul. It is not the end. It is a waiting space where the soul gets hints of its karmic result. Whether your Bhuvarlok become a temple or a web of illusion depends only on your mind. Then comes Swarlok, the dream of heaven, the city of bliss. When good deeds are strong, the soul receives this blessing. This is the land of the gods, where there is no sorrow, no disease, no attachment. Flower, shower, divine music fills the air, and the mind is in the constant joy. But this joy is not forever. Swarlok is a heaven, but not eternal. When the stock of good deed is over, the soul is pulled back into the same cycle of Bhulok. Birth again, action again. So the question is, do you remain in this heaven or cross beyond it towards true liberation? Then comes Mahalok. Here, there are no words, no sounds, only a deep silence, carrying everything within it. When the soul rises above the struggles of Bhulok, when it crosses the illusions of Bhuvarlok, when it is not trapped in the pleasures of Swarlok, then it reaches Mahalok. This is the realm of rishis, yogis, and the seekers of truth. There is no fear, no indulgence. It neither creates nor destroys. It only observes. Time exists here, but it does not move. Like a clock whose hand never ticks. It is like a divine library where the seeds of knowledge of all loks are preserved. Every breath is a mantra, every glance a scripture. Here, rishis like Vishwamitra, Atri, and Bhrigu meditated beyond time itself. Their silence shapes the structure of the universe, but even from Mahalok, the soul can move ahead. The next is Janlok, invisible light, inaudible sound, yet everything is being created here. It is not a place, it is the source of will. The architecture of universe is designed here. A thought does not remain just a thought, it becomes creation. This is the lok of cosmic engineers, born not of bodies but of Brahma's mind. Here, every thought is a wave, and every wave creates a world. This is where Vedas, mantras, and stories first emerged. Then comes Taplok, the land of prayers. When the soul breaks free of Janlok's cosmic design, when it goes beyond the imagination of creation, it reaches Taplok. Here, yogis and sages surrender themselves to endless austerity. It is a realm of infinite energy. Here, there is no yesterday, no today, no tomorrow. Only eternal tapasya that makes the soul pure and detached. Taplok is a fire. Whoever enters must burn away all identity and impurities. Only then can one be truly free. And then comes Satyalok, the home of ultimate truth, the center of complete knowledge and infinite light. When the soul has been purified by the fire of Taplok, it enters Satyalok, the final destination of truth. Here, there is no light, no darkness, yet it is filled with eternal radiance. No time, no movement, only infinite peace. Everything is one, everything is nothing. This is where the soul lives in its true form. Nobody returns from here because it is infinite. It is the supreme, it is the truth itself. Yet, even this is not the end. Satyalok is not a place but an experience, the essence of all lok, where you exist at the same time you don't. This was a journey through the 7 loks, where the soul experiences the results of its karma and moves closer to its identity. Every lok is a stop, lesson, guiding us forward. This story is not just from the Purans, it is the real story of every living being.